Yes, Gautam. Today I will create. Yeah,
Okay.
today I will
I'm
create a table. Yeah,
Yes.
it's like that.
Okay. Mhm. I am sharing my screen. Okay. So we have seen about this schema, right? So we are clear with that, right? And
Yeah.
you have you listened like when I have opened this REST API? Have you heard till this?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So just I am giving overview like how we can create a simple REST API in ServiceNow directly from this link on the bottom. Okay. So I have given incident name and I am just giving this get. Okay. And I am just clicking on send here. So you can see these are all the ticket data in JSON format. Like you can mm, 1 minute. I will like these are too many, so I will set a limit. Okay, only one ticket limit. So here you can see it will pull all like this is the incident number, incidents link, its value, updated by, all those things will be coming in JSON, right? So Sharath and Rohit, you will have idea about this, right? How we can use REST API. So
Yes.
this is yes. And if you want to give this REST API URL to your client, just copy this and give. That is like in ServiceNow, it is too easy. Just click on select your table and select any of this method. If that is your get method, you that will create a URL on bottom. So just give this to your client and he will be able to access your data. Okay. And like you people know about this, like what is status code 200, 201, 400, all those things, right? So that is it about. And if and here also we have some options like this is if you don't want to provide a URL and you want to provide like a Python script for this REST API, so you can click on this. So this is the Python script. Copy this and provide to your Python client. And if you have a service now, if you want to provide a URL to your service now, other service now person, click on this. So this is the API configuration for service now. Just copy this data and provide to your client. So this REST API is a easy and simple thing in service now. But in .NET we have to struggle for everything, right? So that is about REST API. Okay. So we have seen all the related links. Then we have access control on this table. So on every table, like if we create a new table, by default there will be 4 access control. Like access control is like providing access to that particular table, like who can read. Like I told you about four ACLs by default, right? So one will be for like create, like who can create. Okay, who can create. If that person have this ACL access to create, only after that he can create a record in this table. Then we have not edit but update. Okay, then we have delete and we have read also. Like if that person has read access to table, only after that he can view records of this table. If he don't have read ACL access, he won't be able to read. And how we will provide this? So by default okay, I think you will have clear idea when we create a custom table. So I am not taking ACLs in detail for now, but we will see that in tomorrow's class. So for now we have 51 ACLs on this particular incident table. And I told you like read access, this is for read access, and this is for create, this is for delete. And you may think like why we have this many read access, like we have around 4 to 5, right? So in like for example in this particular we are giving a read access, like only admin should be able to read. Okay, that is one ACL. And here only ITL person should be able to read. So in such way we have different ACLs. for same read access. So same for write access also, we have different APIs, like who is the person who can read this. Okay, we will see this ACLs in detail. Like we will have 2 or 3 classes particularly for ACL, because ACL is a important concept and that is the 100% compulsory topic for interview. Okay. So then label. So this is just a normal concept, like this is our table name. This is label of our table, and plurals, like sometimes we use sometimes it will appear as incident, and in some cases it will appear as incident. So what you want to be the name when it is plural, so that is just normal things that will appear by default and we won't change anything here. Okay, so database index. So these are again the same, like this is about task table, and these are the indexes, like what is the column, like column we have one sysID, so that is a primary key. We say in our table, like the person who worked on this tables concept, they will have idea, right, what is primary key, what is secondary key. So in our service now, so all the tables will have this sys_id, and that will be your primary ID. And we have seen like what will be the sysID in yesterday's class. So it is a 32-bit unique code for all the records. In same manner, table will also have a sysID. Okay, each and everything in ServiceNow will have a sysID. That may be a record, any code, or any table, everything, any ACL, anything, everything will have a sysID. Okay. So for fresher, this question is also compulsory, like what is sysID? Okay. Okay. So database indexes. Then we have table subscription configuration. So we don't modify this like there won't be any requirement to modify. But if we have any custom table in future, there we will have this option like table subscription configuration. So what is that? Let's open. So this is your application, incident, subscription model, fulfiller, requester. Like requester, like we are the requester, and fulfiller is the person who will fulfill our request. Okay. And fulfiller condition, there is no condition, but requester's condition, like we have this code like a requester JavaScript, like user ID, his user ID. Like we will see this like GS dot in the our scripting part. So this is the condition for requester. Okay. So no need to take this table configuration, subscription configuration in detail, because in my 3 years experience, I have never configured. But if you want to have a look, what is this, you can have a look, because we never get any request to change this. Okay. So are we clear with this table form, this table which we have seen until now?
Yes, Gautam.
Okay. So just to like a more 5 or 10 minutes. So here also on top you can see this attachment option. So if you want to attach anything to this table, you can attach that from here. So this is option for that. And then we have this option, personalize your form. So you can see
So for the attachment, like where it will be helpful, like what for that will be helpful?
Okay, so this one, right? So when you are creating an incident ticket and you want to attach anything to your ticket, so this is for that. Okay, I manage attachments. Okay, and in some cases our client will ask like, I want to restrict attachment, I don't want, and in some cases there will be like, I don't want to allow end user to attach anything. So those will be the conditions. So that conditions you can manage, like we will see that example when we are working on incident form, like how we can restrict attachment, those things. But this is the incident, this is the attachment thing where we can manage. and we have separate table in our service now where we can see all the attachments. Like let me show star attachment. Okay, sorry, spelling. Okay, that is sys underscore attachment. Okay, so this table will have all the records, all your attachments. Okay, let me take incident here. Okay, sorry, yeah. So this is a this is your incident. This is a attachment on your incident table, and this is your table sys ID, and this is the name of your attachment, and it is the type of attachment, and it was created on this day. And let's check like what we have. Sorry. Image height, it's all the things. Okay. Yes. So when I am opening this, you can see it is downloading an image. It is some file, I guess, because I don't have that type of opener. It is not allowing me to open. But this is the concept, Rohit. Like whenever we attach anything on our incident table, for example, let me remove this.
Yeah, got it,
Okay,
Gautam, no problem. Yeah, got it. I just wanted to check the use case.
Okay, okay. So this is to personalize your form. Okay, allow UI actions, all those things, if you want to see that on your form or not. And some are disabled because you can't remove those, and some we can remove that. Okay, this, like if I tick mark, I remove this, so you can see like this is getting highlighted, right? So that will get disappear from our form. So you can have this, like you can observe on our form like something is getting highlighted. Okay, so you can personalize your form. And then we have toggle bar. Like in ServiceNow, we have a concept of template. So if you want to apply some template here, so you can choose that from here. And if you want to create any new template, you can create from here. So we will look in templates concept when we are working on email notification. That is not required for now. Okay. So these buttons, you will have idea, no need to explain that. And here, like your file properties, move to application, like from one application to other, and dictionary records. Okay, dictionary records, we have seen that on bottom. And configuration, if you want to like form design again, form layout, related list, like we can add or remove related list on our form also, that is from here. And here all these are development parts, so we will know in next of after 5 or 6 days, like what are these options. So same again, export to PDF, view, like we have 3 views here, so which view you want to add, that one here. So some more things here. Like we have this field display as false, but only one field will be display as true, like and I will tell what is the purpose of that. Okay. So here you see we have only one field that is true, and that is number. And what is the reason we have number field as true? And that is because when we open an incident, like incident create, create. So not create, I will take some other like open one. I am opening this ticket. So you can see this number here, right? So that is the purpose. Like if you make created by, like if you make some other field like category as true, so that will appear here. So this is the reason we make the display as true, so that will appear on the top. Okay, so that is the purpose. And then okay, so we have one more concept. This audit. Okay. So here you can see we have audit as false, and this audit has a purpose. Like I am a user, like I am the first user working on our incident, and I have changed some short description. So if you second user want to check like what is the thing I have checked, he can't check that until audit is true. So an audit also we can make true for any particular field. Okay, true or false for any particular field, or we have a option that is called as collections. Let me see if we have that here. Okay, I don't have that here, so directly let's go to show dictionary, sorry, here, and to its dictionary, and here we have type as collection. So here you can see that this about display, and here I am making audit as true. Okay, so all the changes on that particular table, all the fields will be appeared in audit. So this is the first thing. Like I want to change. Okay, I will give impact as 1 and urgency as something, and I am saving my form. Sorry, I have to give something here. Okay. So on the bottom, you can see like we have option in activities, like we can show that in activities. That is a purpose, like what was the old impact and what is the new impact, what is the old priority, what is new priority. You can check from here also. This is also a part of audit. And as I have made, and that is one option. And then we have second option, that is history here. And if you want to check, I am clicking on list. Okay, so here is the list. Like this is audit history. Okay, record history. What was the old value and what is the new value? I'm doing this. So here you can see urgency was 3 earlier, now it is medium. Priority was 5, and you can now it is 2. So this is how you can check audit. And here you can see type is audit. So these are the audit fields. Okay, so that is the purpose of audit. Clear with audit?
Yes, Gautam, understood.
Yes, Gautam.
So what we have next? Tables. I will cover in next 5 minutes. Sorry for taking more than 1 hour.
So Gautam, I'm dropping off for now. Okay,
Okay.
I'll see the video. Yeah, I'll see the video.
Fine, no problem. So we just revise the topics which we have covered. Like we have covered this extend table, we have seen this application, we have seen this attachment, we have seen this prioritize form, then we have seen what we have in this option, then we have seen this column control and application access, and again on column we have seen what is display and what is audit. Okay, and we have seen like what are the tables, what are the fields coming from our extended table, that is a task table, and what are the fields that are particularly of incident. Okay, and then we have seen this related list, then we have seen this access control, label, database indexes, and this last option. So we have covered all the things which we have on our table. So any questions on this till now?
No, Gautam. Clear.
Okay. Okay. So Sharath, try to create Sharath, Sohel and Sai Kiran, try to create a table and just try your basics like this prefix and this one and this one. And no need to add any fields for now by yourself. Just extend task table so all the task table fields will appear. Okay. So when you click on the show table or show form, those default form, task table fields will appear on your form. Okay. So just try this, like try any prefix, any number on any number of digits. Okay. So adding fields and different type of fields we will see in tomorrow's class. Tomorrow we will create a custom table. Fine.
Okay, Gautam. Yeah. Okay.
Okay then. If you have any questions, you can ask me in tomorrow's class. Fine.
Okay.
Okay then. Thank you for today.
Thank you, Gautam. Bye.
Bye bye.